turn left.
And do we know what President Putin wants?
Well, we do know what he wants because he's been trying to negotiate it with Belarus for quite a long time. It's effective.
Now turn left.
They are already very close. There is a sort of a structure in place called the Union State, which ties Belarus and Russia already quite closely together. Russia would basically like steps to be taken whereby Belarus was almost consumed inside Russia, became very much under the umbrella of Moscow's control. President Lukashenko had, at least up until this disputed election, stopped at that point and been refused to concede.
Please turn right in 300 yards onto Pinsent's Kiln Industrial Park, then is your destination.
From Moscow, but effectively to Belarus to be much more closely tied into the Russian state.
Meantime, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, the opposition leader, says this meeting shouldn't even be happening. Every side in this situation continues to dig its heels in. Where does it go next?
Yeah, a very interesting statement from Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, the woman who is widely thought to have defeated President Lukashenko in the election a month or so ago. This is the first time that she really has very directly addressed President Putin himself. I am very sorry you've decided to conduct a dialogue with a usurper and not with the Belarusian people. So this is a real step into broader geopolitics for Ms. Tikhanovskaya.
Route recalculation.
Thank you, Jonah Fisher, our correspondent in Minsk. Now, imagine working in a hospital that serves a city of more than 1 million people. The only healthcare facility during a pandemic. That's what's been happening in Aden in Yemen, where coronavirus has added to the humanitarian crisis caused by its long civil war. A BBC team of journalists was on one of the first flights to go into Aden since the pandemic reached that part of the world. We're going to hear now from BBC Arabic's correspondent Nawal Amagafi.
I'm heading to flights to enter the city since coronavirus hit. On the flight, there are dozens of Yemenis desperate to get home. They're anxious about what they will find, and so am I. We walk into arrivals. I'm now the only one wearing a face.
If that person is saying that I'm sexually liberated, I feel sexually liberated by doing this, then I should be allowed to do it. I guess I'm just trying to understand where you stand.
9 out of 10 times I don't agree with it. I love sex positivity, I love liberation, but most of the time we are performing very male versions of our own sexuality that very much cater to a very male-centric, pornographic even, conception of what women's sexuality looks and feels like. Right. So when we then...
The route is being calculated.
Liberated, I completely disagree with that. It's not sincere. It is problematic. You are catering to a male fantasy.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
When the song your collective created went viral, was there a particular video or particular story that you heard that really had a special impact?
Yes, one of the that was very powerful for us, and the symbolic also, was when we saw a group that called themselves like tesis, like us, but senior, because they were like older than us. We are women in our 30s. They did this performance, and it was like a massive protest, a massive performance. Thousands and thousands and thousands of women in Santiago, in the capital of our country, and it was so deeply moving for us to see how women that actually never felt comfortable to go to protest in the street, they never felt safe, for example, to do it for many, many different reasons, or people that since the dictatorship of Pinochet never also claimed back the street, and now they were in the street because they could feel safe in that place of only women and queer people, but also a lot of women that had lived a life.
Please make a U-turn if possible.
Also, they did this performance in the frontis of the National Stadium of Santiago. That is a place that was also how do you say, centro de tortura, a torture center in the dictatorship. So everything symbolically was.
Please turn left in 300.